Hi everyone, this is Kevin here, coming at you with my hands-on and first impressions video of the new ZTE Blade 10. So let's get started. Now before we dive on into this, I do want to disclose that I did buy this phone with my own money. It was not sent out to me. ZTE has sent out phones to me though in the past, but this specific phone I purchased on my own. Now this is a phone that I've been waiting for a long time to cover here on the channel. Now earlier in the year, in February of 2019, I was in Barcelona, Spain at Mobile World Congress, and at that show, ZTE revealed the ZTE Blade V10, and this device is based off of the V10. So if you want to go over to my channel and look up ZTE Blade V10, you can see the video that I made at Mobile World Congress on the show floor at the ZTE booth. But essentially that was kind of my preview into this device. So it's really exciting that it finally has made its way over to the US market, and they did drop the V from the name, so it's just ZTE Blade 10, which I think is actually pretty smart because it makes the name consistent with the ZTE Axon 10 Pro. But here is the box, a pretty typical ZTE box with the name of the phone here on the front. Now I did already open this up because I wanted to get it all set up for the sake of saving some time here. But let's lift the lid. So the first thing you'll see in the box is this little tiny box, and we'll see what's inside of here. So we do have a SIM card removal tool. We have thank you for choosing ZTE. Of course, you can go to their website at zteusa.com or follow them on Instagram or Facebook. We have the ZTE Blade 10 Quick Start Guide as well. So in the box, we also have two other little boxes here, so I'll pull these out. So we have a USB-C cable for charging and data transfer. So really nice to see that the phone does have USB-C. We also have a ZTE branded USB wall adapter. So here is the phone itself. Now the device is available at zteusa.com for $179.99. I will be leaving a link in the video description. This device is available factory unlocked and will work with any GSM carrier in the US. So it's going to work really well with AT&T, T-Mobile, Cricket, Metro by T-Mobile, and smaller GSM carriers such as Mint Mobile. The device features a 6.3-inch display at 1080p with a 400 ppi and a 19:9 aspect ratio. Now the display is LCD, and it doesn't look extremely bright through the camera, but it actually is a bit brighter in real life. But it is nice to see that we are getting a 1080p display with the phone. It looks great, and I'm really excited to watch video content on the device. Now up top here, we have a water drop notch, and in that notch is a 16 megapixel front-facing camera. So one of the features that ZTE has really been touting with this device ahead of the launch is how good the front-facing camera is. Now I definitely want to take the phone outdoors and really do a lot of testing before coming up with my real conclusions about the camera. But from what I can see so far in this viewfinder, it does look really clear. So that's always nice to see. Definitely for a phone that's under $200, having a good camera is always appreciated. Now the phone features 64 gigabytes of internal storage, so quite a bit of storage there, and you get SD card expansion up to 2 terabytes. There is no wireless charging with the ZTE Blade 10, but we do get a fingerprint sensor here on the back. So we'll try that out, and that is extremely quick. Probably one of the quickest fingerprint sensors that I've used on a device at this price range. I mean, that was so quick, I can't even turn the phone over in time. That's insane. So good job ZTE with designing a very good fingerprint sensor. Also on the back are the dual cameras. So the phone has a 16 megapixel main camera and a 5 megapixel secondary camera, which is the depth sensing camera for portrait mode. Now I did verify all of these specifications on the CPU-X application, so everything is completely legit as far as specs go with the phone, but I'm definitely looking forward to going out in public, taking a bunch of different photos and videos, and seeing how good the quality really is. But I have a good feeling about it based off of my experience so far with taking photos inside of my studio here. Now the phone features 3 gigabytes of RAM and has the MediaTek Helio P60 processor. Now don't be concerned that it has a MediaTek processor because actually the Helio line of processors from MediaTek are very good. A lot of MediaTek processors in the past weren't good, But again, they've come a long way with the Helio line, and the P60 really is a nice mid-range processor that's going to give you good performance. Definitely when browsing the web, and this is based off of my experience so far with this phone and other phones running that processor. But with browsing the web and going on social media and doing anything, it's a relatively smooth process. Of course, the performance is not as good as a flagship phone, but still very decent. Now, I did run an Antutu benchmark test with the phone, so I'll pull up the scores right now. And what I suggest you do is go on your phone right now and run the Antutu benchmark test and see what your score is and see if it's higher or lower than the score with the ZTE Blade 10. If the score is lower than this score, then it's likely that the ZTE Blade 10 will be a performance upgrade for you. But you can see here that the benchmark score for the Blade 10 is 167,224, and then here's the CPU, GPU, memory, and UX. Now, video recording with the device maxes out at 1080p at 30 frames per second. The device features a pretty decent 3,200 mAh internal battery. It's a bit smaller than some competitors like the Galaxy A20 from Samsung, which features a 4,000 mAh internal battery. But I'm still expecting to get very decent battery life with the phone, because the Helio P60 is a very power efficient processor. Now, the device features a near stock version of Android 9 Pie, which is great to see. Definitely smooth performance, nicely optimized software with the phone. So I'm just glad that it doesn't feature a bunch of bloatware or junk. You pretty much just get the standard Google apps, and I did add some apps of my own. It looks like there are a few extra apps like this one and that one and that one. But for the most part, everything can be disabled or removed, and you're getting a near stock experience with the phone. Now that we've talked about the specifications of the ZTE Blade 10, let's take a closer look at the hardware. So I already talked quite a bit about the front panel here with the teardrop notch at the top. We do have a little bit of a chin here on the bottom of the phone, but overall a very appealing design. The design is pretty similar though to other phones that I've covered in the past on the channel, including the Blue G9 Pro, the Samsung Galaxy A20, and Umidigi F1. So it seems like this design with the teardrop notch at the top and a little bit of a chin on the bottom is pretty popular. Now, taking a look at the left side here, we have the SIM card slot and we have nothing else. On the right side, we have the power button with a red accent and we have the volume button. On the top of the phone, we have the 3.5mm headphone jack and noise canceling microphone. We have an all plastic build around the sides and rear, but it does feel very solid. Now on the bottom here, we have a microphone, we have the USB-C port for charging and data transfer, and we have the speaker. Then on the back side of the phone, we have the camera module, of course, we have the flash, we have the fingerprint sensor, and ZTE logo. Now this finish on the back is definitely a piano black type of finish, but it is a bit of a fingerprint magnet, so be ready for that. But I do think it looks good, and for the price, I think it's definitely a solid build. But I'm definitely interested to know what you think about the ZTE Blade 10. I'm very excited to use it quite a bit more before I do my full review, so stay tuned for that. But it definitely looks like a very competitive device, and I think for that price of $179.99, it really is in that nice sweet spot. It's pretty much priced right around where the Galaxy A20 is priced at, and a bit cheaper than other competitors such as the Umidigi X. And I have a feeling what's really going to set this phone apart from its competition is the camera quality from both the front and rear cameras. So in the full review, we'll be checking that out. But I hope you enjoyed this video about the ZTE Blade 10. I definitely recommend that you follow ZTE USA on social media and tell them that Kevin Breeze sent you. But make sure to watch my other videos about this device on the channel, including other phones that I've covered in the past. And I will see you in the next video.